All right. I think we're on. I try to do it to X, but apparently I don't have the right account. I think we're going on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram for the first time. So we'll see how it works. Don't know how many people are watching at the moment, but if you are, welcome. Welcome. Uh, and just me this time, it looks like. Let me double check and make sure everything is going okay. Yep, looks like it. So I imagine it's not going to be a whole lot of people watching this one, which is fine. Sometimes just gotta practice and get things out. Though I would appreciate it that if you guys see me. Hello, Maddie. How's the audio? The audio okay? You let me know. So, it's been kind of a slow week, but I'll just get into some of the. Thank you. Good to hear. I'll just get into some of the different things that we got going on. The biggest one, or the one that was bad, was Michael Madsen passing. Madsen passed away at the age of 67. He played a lot of tough guy characters with gravelly voice and Clint Eastwood squint. He always had that world-weary look, like he was just not happy to be there. Like, what am I doing here? What's going on? Which is cool. He did it well, in my opinion. Of course, Reservoir Dogs, The Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He was in a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies. My favorite role of his in Tarantino movies was always Kill Bill. I just loved how he was resigned to the idea that he needed to die, but he still fought and took out the bride anyway, put her in the grave. But he just didn't seem really happy about it. He just felt like he was just going on and just doing what had to be done, because this is the life they choose. It's almost like he had no choice in the matter. Sometimes it was well done. Yes, I did see that Doctor Doom died. Julian. I'm gonna have to look that up, but I was kind of surprised because he was only a couple of years older than me, so I'm not sure what happened there. Madsen, I think his earliest role, which I did not know about, was down here. One of our commenters put it in there. Yeah, War Games, where he played the dude that was turning the key with the guy that was in the rock, and the guy in the rock went and turned the key, and he took a gun. He turned your key, sir. He looked so young and just so different than the guy he became later. But that was a good role for him, even though it was pretty minor at the time. So good for him. Bad for us. I hope he's in peace. I hope things are okay and his family's okay. And what do you say? It sucks to have these guys. The longer we go, the more time takes away from us, as they say. So anyway, moving on. This is probably going to be short because I don't have Boba to play off of, but I'll do my best. New Indiana Jones. So one character who a character has been played by multiple actors in different styles, but with the same framework, with a variety of recurring but also recast supporting roles. This is kind of like James Bond, except that Indiana Jones never been like James Bond. They never really took the opportunity. They did have the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, and that was fine. But now they want to recast it and try to make a new actor play Indiana Jones. And honestly, I don't know if you can do it. Maybe. I would imagine you need an unknown. I know people are saying, well, we should get Chris Pratt. And I'm like going, he's too well known. He's too into so many different ones. I just don't think he has he's too cheerful, for lack of a better term. He's too cheerful. Yeah, Jones kind of has this grumpiness about him, and I think that's just Harrison Ford grumpiness. So I don't think they could do that. But that's just me. So, I mean, they're trying to. I guess Disney is exploring a potential Indiana Jones reboot. Personally, I'm not. I'm not enthused by it, and I'll get into that a little bit. Just in general, there's two problems happening in Hollywood, and as I work through these, I'll kind of dovetail into it. But one of them is all this these reboots. So we have a Running Man trailer. Now, a lot of people say, well, this is a reboot of the 1987 movie. But from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing, this is much more. The 1987 movie was a vehicle for Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was very loosely based on what the novel was all about. Very loosely based. It was mostly just Arnold doing Arnold stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I think it has a little bit more to say than your average 80s actioner. I think the idea of the media manipulating us and distracting us, I mean, that just seems so far-fetched now, doesn't it? So, I think there is a lot there. I wonder how they will upgrade this. I'm assuming that there'll be a lot of streaming and people watching on their phones and stuff like that. I really like Glenn Powell. He is. I said that he's the best thing in Twisters. He completely overshadows his co-star, who that girl looked to be about 12 years old. And he was great in Top Gun. And I just think he's a guy that can actually be the next actual movie star if he's given the right vehicle. I think he's just one real, yeah, he's the only guy I remember from Top Gun. Yeah, apart from Tom Cruise. Well, and Jennifer Connelly, who looks unreasonably hot at her age still. But I think that he needs that star vehicle. He needs like what Tom Cruise had. First he had Risky Business, but then it was Top Gun, and those two are what catapulted him into a star. Yeah, she was Top Gun Maverick. They spliced in a different movie. Okay. But he needs that 1-2 punch, and making things like Top Gun Maverick or Twisters or other retreads of past glories is not going to do it for him. He's got to have that one movie that makes him the big star. That it kind of like not that Robert Downey Jr. wasn't a big star. People certainly knew about him, but he was mostly relegated to kind of more niche roles, or he did that Ally McBeal first season. He was too messed up by his drugs and everything. He had a lot of decent roles, but he never broke out until Iron Man and became Iron Man. He was Iron Man. I think Glenn Powell has that in him to do that. It's just he's got to have the right vehicle, and sometimes it doesn't happen for these guys. So we'll see. But I think he has that. I don't know if the Running Man is it. I don't think it is, because again, it's not. It's banking off the name. Now, if this ends up being much better than the original, if we have an Ocean's 11 situation going on here, then well, we'll see. Maybe he can. That movie will rise above it. But what do you guys think? Do you think Running Man is going to be great or not great? So we will see. We will see. Guys, moving along really quick. Thunderbolts. So, Phil and I both watched Thunderbolts, and Phil hated it. And I liked it fine. And I gave it like 2.5 stars because I was like, it's fine. It's not the glory days of the MCU, but it was perfectly fine. I enjoyed it for what it was. And I didn't hate the movie just because we hate the movies or we hate Disney or something like that. And this is what's getting me into my thoughts, and this kind of has to do with the review manipulation that's going on with Ironheart, which is, from what I hear, was finished way back in like 2021. It was still in the throes of all the wokeness, but and then they're playing all these stupid games with all the media manipulation and everything. And I'm just kind of looking at it going, I between this and everything in Disney and all the different, I feel like we're stuck in some sort of feedback loop anymore. You know, they make the movie, we sit there and criticize it, look for any signs of wokeness, our radar goes up. And, you know, none of us are enjoying the stories anymore. We're not even, we got this whole cottage industry of guys like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and others, and who basically their whole thing is just to set up to find out what's wrong with the movie and criticize all the wokeness in it. And then they put more wokeness in it, and we decry it. And then if they don't put wokeness in it, which I don't think that Thunderbolts really did, maybe a little bit, but I just feel like I want to get off the train. You know, I don't enjoy movies anymore. Because I go there and I'm just looking to see what's going to piss me off, which is exhausting. And then you go, okay, well, what are they trying to accomplish? I mean, they're not, nobody's enjoying these movies anymore. They're making them as content, which we all understand. We talk about that. They put it out. We critique it for all the political messages. Nobody's wanting to tell a story. Nobody's wanting to make art for art's sake. And I'm not saying that art didn't used to have messages in it. It always had a message in it, but story always came first. There had to be a reason why you were doing this. And now it's either corporate sludge or some sort of horrible lefty message in it that's being pushed out. Or worse, it sometimes even the right will put out something that's kind of like the anti-lefty message. I'm like, how is any of this entertaining? I mean, it's supposed to be entertainment. None of it's entertaining to me. Or so little of it. I look at how Superman's coming out. And there's all these review leaks. And so we got people who are on the Team Superman, Team James Gunn, and other people who are saying this is going to suck in comic book movies. It's going to be woke, or they effed up. It just seems like every movie is an excuse to come up to balkanize into whatever teams, maybe 2, 3, 4 teams that you're in, and endlessly argue about why it's good or why it's bad, and to fight. It's like, do we? I don't remember doing that back in the day. You know, we'd say, oh, the new Lord of the Rings is coming out. Let's go watch it. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, well, that was great. Or maybe, you know, it was okay, but I didn't like this, or, you know, some other movie, right? But it wasn't like this whole excuse to draw battle lines and go to war and figure out, you know, who's right, who's wrong, what do we do, you know, what. And we just get on the internet and we start, you know, voicing our opinion about everything, about what's on and what's not and everything. I'm going, I just, you know, I started this whole site, not just me. I mean, with guys like Stark and some others, and some people have come on, and we all have a shared love of movies from growing up. But now you know, it's like I try to get into this with the same joy that I had before. And now, you know, just getting on a site, writing a review or doing something, it just feels like a slog. Because, like, what is the angle that I'm coming at it with? And it's always this woke nonsense. And I go, okay, well, what's the point of this? Why do any of this? And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about, I don't want to disband the site or anything. I don't want to stop doing this necessarily. I'm just saying that I'd like to find joy in it again, though. And so what do I end up doing is I end up doing all these Trek-ons, the reviews of the Star Treks, which, by the way, the polls came out. I'll announce it right here. Doing the animated series next. So I just want to rediscover the excitement and fun of entertainment. And the people putting out all the entertainment these days don't seem to have any interest in that. The only place I can find real excitement and passion and joy in at least with different properties or things I know, or some things I don't even know, is people either making independent films or fan films on YouTube. Like, somebody put a lot of effort into it. Now, they don't have necessarily the talent, the acting, the writing. They do the best they can. Some are very, very good. Some of them are not. But at least they're just wanting to live in that world that they love so much. They're not trying to either get the bottom line or put out some social messaging, or I don't know what they're trying to do. And I'm wondering about Superman. It's already become a lightning rod. I'm going, okay, he's Superman. I hope it's good. But whether it's good or not, I don't think it'll matter. That's my point. Is like it doesn't matter whether these movies anymore are bad or good. They're just an excuse for everybody to start fighting about something. It used to be things worked, they didn't, and you kind of accepted it. You moved on. There was always something new coming down the pike, and now it's just. I mean, tell me if you're. Yeah, I'm supposed to wear a mask and tell us Kathleen Kennedy's getting fired. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I guess I'm asking, is this a thing that you guys are feeling? Is this where you're going, like, what is the point? I mean, we're talking about review manipulation of Ironheart. Okay, so either you like it or you don't like it. But because you made it with some sort of ulterior motive in mind, some sort of political messaging, some sort of hate Trump, hate white people, whatever it is, or you're just not very good writers and everything. And so then you put all this out here and people say they don't like it. Then you have a bunch of people that say, I'm going to make sure that everybody knows I don't like it. And if review bombing is even a thing. And then you have the Disney or working in hand with Rotten Tomatoes say, let's get rid of the negative ones because we don't want people to know what a piece of shit this is. Like, there's nothing authentic about any of this. What's either it's good or it's not good, and let people make their choice. So you'll put it out there. Sometimes you put out a piece of crap, sometimes you put out something great, but let it stand on its own. But no, we have all this social media manipulation. I'm going, okay, well, are you guys having fun anymore? Is movies or entertainment even enjoyable anymore, or is it just the fighting afterwards? Because I used to just, I get past 2013, 2014 with a few one or two movies here and there, and I just find myself just going back and watching stuff that I liked before. Maybe a few TV shows. I would love something new, but I'm kind of like going, I'll just go back and rediscover or discover things I've never watched before. What's the point of any of this? What? Okay, so we'll start up an industry telling everybody how bad Disney is, how bad the woke is. We'll start up an industry telling everybody how bad traditional entertainment was, how white it was. Okay, it's also boring. It's not, in the end, is there anything worth, let's put it this way. In 20 years, 30 years, you going to remember any of the shit that's come out in the late 20-teens, 2020s? Will anybody remember any of this stuff? Will it just be discarded and forgotten? And people, because nobody's going to, this is all going to die down. Nobody's going to remember that Ironheart. I've noticed people don't even remember that Falcon and Winter Soldier came out anymore. Or somebody talked about Secret Invasion, and it was like, oh yeah, that was a thing. And it's like, okay, that's it? That's all you're making? Something that doesn't stand the test of time, doesn't have any cultural significance whatsoever other than the fight that it had in the moment? Maybe that's it. I'm just kind of talking in stream of consciousness here. But you know, I think maybe the internet and the immediacy of everything has made us too much in the moment. We don't think more than 5 minutes into the future. I think that's a real problem. And so they make these things and then they just move on to the next thing. It's like that. Nobody's remembering this. None of this is going to stand the test of time. And it'd be nice if people thought about that, thought about something that's going to be classic and move on and keep us going for a long time. So, yeah, that's where I'm kind of at. This is the thing I want to talk about, for as meandering as it was. Well, why do you blame the actors or the people involved to make it? What do you mean? Why do I blame these actors? Because of, I'm not sure, you know, they just try to make their money and build their brand. Well, I mean, that's just it, right? Building a brand is not a reason to tell a story. That's my issue with all this. It's about building a brand, building stock prices, getting Instagram clout or TikTok clout. It's like, it's all ephemeral. None of that's going to last. And you're going to be, it's almost like heroin, right? You're just chasing a dragon trying to get the next bit of clicks. Otherwise, people go on to the next thing. So, yeah, I don't think that it's going to make much of a difference in the long run. And that's the problem, is nobody's thinking of the long run. That's my concern. Which is why maybe that's why we're all stuck in the past and nostalgia, which is becoming a drug. And that's, I don't know, it's been 10 years of this, at least. I would say since Force Awakens came out, and then followed up by Ghostbusters 2016. It just feels like it's all, I mean, some could say, well, it was Star Wars the prequels that started this mess, which there is some validity to that, because it was the stale 25-year-old or 20-year-old sequel that everybody wanted to come back to, and now that's what they're doing, is either remaking, rebooting, or having a sequel that just goes on and on. It just kept going on and on and on. It still hasn't really stopped. There's no new franchises out there. What are we talking about? Are we talking about the next new movie coming out, or are we talking about who's going to be the next James Bond? Who's going to be the next Indiana Jones? That's a problem. So I felt, yeah, gold bricking, no good. I love you too, man. I don't know who the third guy is. If they want to talk, they'll speak up. Anyway, I'm not gonna go on, because it's just me, and nobody wants to listen to me going on for. Could be me, actually, because I'm watching it on the studio. Let me shut that down. I could be number 2. No, now there's 4, so I don't think it even counted me. All right, so that's it's a long-winded way of saying I want to feel passion for. I want to feel passion for movies again, and I don't care. It was a time where I cared and I was angry about it, and I was, that part of why we started this site was to talk about that and talk against that, and that's fine. But now it's just like, I don't even care. I mean, what are we going to say that we haven't already said a million times? It's woke. That's bad. Oh, diversity. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Is there anything entertaining? Is there anything enjoyable? Is there anything fun anymore? I mean, the only ones that are creating good stories like A20 and that, they make such joyless movies. They're good movies, but they're also like, I'm not going to go back and watch some of these again. They're just awful. Like nobody, puts on the traditional Lars von Trier movie. They're not going to watch Nymphomaniac every Christmas. Yeah, and sometimes I'm not saying there isn't room for those kinds of movies. There are. They're very good, some of them. But it's also like, what? Where's the Die Hards? Where's the Christmas Vacations? Where's the Lord of the Rings? Where's the original? Another Indiana Jones or a Star Wars or all these things that they just kept coming out with over and over and over again, just every year with some intellectual property that stood the test of time, that became a big thing that everybody loved and created stories and everything about. I don't know if they're just so risk averse. I don't know if it's the trying to compete against all the other content, like me putting out a stream, which, I'm not competing against anybody. It's just me just having my weekly therapy sessions is really what it's all about. I still got movies from the 1920s. I need to watch some crap coming out. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of classics I need to dive into. I find myself just watching a lot of YouTube these days, but a lot of that is like, okay, I get it. It's kind of the same stuff all the time. Criticized thing that, current thing that we don't like, that we talked about 8 million times. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Those are the things I want to talk about. Is there anything you guys wanted me to hit on that I missed? I know, like I said, this is going to be short, but I mostly want to just practice talking and talking on this stream a little bit. I'm much funnier when I have somebody to play off of. So I'm told. You have one. Okay, Maddie, what do you got? What do I need to do? I have to type faster than that, buddy. But yeah, sad news with Michael Madsen. Sad news with a new Indiana Jones. Yeah, I don't know. I just found those movies silly. They certainly didn't. The problem with the Fantastic Four is that they have a lot of cachet because they were the first team that kind of introduced the Marvel universe as we know it. That's what the Fantastic Four is. So, but the actual Fantastic Four as a team, they're just not that popular. They've had good moments, they've had good stories, but they're nowhere near like the ones that surpass, like X-Men, Spider-Man, the Avengers, and they just haven't been able. They are a throwback to a bygone era of the family dynamic and all that. And it's not terrible or anything. I mean, it can be done if you do it right. But The Incredibles did it better, and they haven't been able to figure it out. I think part of it is they don't want to lean into Reed being the amazing, competent scientist that he is. And I think if they would do that, maybe they might have something. But they won't do that. And I guess now with, with Pedro Pascal, because he has apparently signed a deal with the devil to be in every movie ever. I mean, what a twat. He's creeping out his co-stars, I guess, or he's just acting creepy. People are, kind of noticing what a fop he is. And I guess he just has no role in this movie, or basically the role to be the punching bag. So I have a feeling this is going to be more MCU stuff. And, I got to admit, I think that the Fantastic Four movie that was probably the most attempted to be the most true to the comics, at least at the time, was the one that never got released by Roger Corman. I mean, they were trying, at least. You gotta give them credit. They were really trying. They had no budget. It was a movie that was never supposed to come out, but they kind of felt like the characters in their own way with what little they could do with it. So, Owen Guff, is it Lone or Owen Gutfeld? Gruffeld, it was 10 times Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be better than Pedro, no doubt. But, I don't know, he was kind of, I mean, Mr. Fantastic always came across to me as a very, like, yeah, he was stuck in his lab and all that kind of stuff, but he still came across to me as very, he had a lot of leadership qualities. He was very much a take charge. When you read the original comics, he's immediately telling everybody what to do, when to do it, coming up with a solution. And the 2005, and then this one, and even that Fan Four stick, which was I don't even really recognize that as a Fantastic Four movie. But he always comes across as timid. He doesn't know what to do. He's a nerd. He's a geek. I'm like, well, that's not who he is. He's never been who he is. So they keep doing that in the movies, and I think that's why part of the reason why the Fantastic Four movies don't work. But they usually get the thing right for the most part. It's pretty easy. I used to be a man, now I'm a monster. Oh, woe's me. I'm a big, strong guy, and I got a big mouth. It's not that difficult to do the thing, and they usually get that right. They never want to make Sue real motherly. Johnny, they got right. Certainly, Chris Evans was a good Johnny. I thought he did well. The Fan Four stick, whatever, and this one, we'll see. I have a feeling they're making him gay. That's what's going to happen there. So who knows? But yeah, that's we'll see. Silver Surfer was great. Yeah, Jessica Alba was good. Yeah, they got her stripped down to her skivvies, which was nice. You can always. I never got to complain about Jessica Alba and her underwear. Yeah, I thought the Silver Surfer was pretty good in that, but the movie itself just, I mean, remember Galactus, the cloud, and it was like 3 words, and like, oh, it's gonna be too silly to put in a big guy. It's like, really, a cloud? You thought a cloud wasn't silly? Okay. I don't know. Hollywood always thinks they can figure out better than the people who made the source material. And when they stick to the source material reasonably well, you get the glory days of the MCU, you get Superman 78, you get the Dark Knight trilogy in a lot of ways. Is Robert Downey Jr.? I never said that. I never said he was going to be the better Doctor Doom. You're putting words in my mouth, man. I never said he was going to be a better Doctor Doom at all. But I think, I mean, I love Robert Downey Jr., but I mean, I don't understand I understand their thought process. Let's get RDJ back in there so people will come to the theater and watch him because they love RDJ. But it makes no sense to put him in. Makes no sense to put him in there as Doctor Doom. I don't, multiverse bullshit. I don't care. It's going to confuse everybody. It's going to backfire on them. It's going to be seen as what it is, just pandering to the audience. That's what it's going to be seen as. That's what it's going to become. And nobody's going to, like, they'll get the big weekend in there, but over time, and maybe this goes back to what I said, the not thinking more than 5 minutes in the future. If they get their big weekend and make their money back, then fine. They're happy. But the problem is that they've relied on that for so long, and now everybody's kind of onto it. And nobody's bothering to go, even if it is a decent movie, and that's how you end up with Thunderbolts crashing and burning. So, this is... I don't think that the Avengers movies are going to do nearly as well as they think. I don't think they're going to break 500 million domestically. I'll be surprised if they get much past 300 million domestically and maybe 500-600 million worldwide. First one might do better. I mean, it'll depend on the trailer and things like that, whether they can fool enough people. But that's really what it is. It's about fooling people now. It's not about getting them excited and then paying it off with something that they feel like they got their money's worth out of. After 5-10 years of this, I'm wondering if it's going to work or not. Yeah. Nobody likes it. But him and Mel Gibson, Air America, I really enjoy that movie. And yeah, there you go. Air America is still awesome. Yeah, I liked Air America. Nobody seems to like Air America. I don't know why. I'm not saying it's a classic, but I like the movie. I don't know. I don't know why everybody hates it so much or thinks it's terrible. I mean, the story is fine. RDJ and Gibson play off each other very well. I should do that as my next Overlooked. I've been trying to think of a movie to do my next Overlooked. I will make that my next Overlooked. I need to get back into editing and doing this stuff again. So I'm going to try that and go do my next Overlooked like that. Because I think Air America is, like I said, it's not a bona fide classic. I don't think it is a bona fide classic. But there's nothing wrong with it either. It's an enjoyable, nice afternoon movie. I have fun with it. Excuse me, is that a newsie? All right, guys. Since it's just me, I'm going to. I can't just talk for another hour. And I'm not going to. So I think nobody wants to hear me go on and on. So that's fine. I don't care. This is why I'm here. Just to get out a lot of stuff. But thank you very much for watching. Watch for more Trek odds. I didn't really talk about Star Trek. I said I was going to, but I think I'll just do that later on when Boba gets better. So anyway, lastmovieoutpost.com. You can hit us on X at Movie Outpost. He's at Boba Phil. I'm at Drunken Yoda 1. We're at Facebook at /lastmovieoutpost and Instagram at lastmovieoutpost. So would love to have you guys join us. Be a part of the website. We have news and reviews every single day. There are new articles up there. And if you have a scoop or something, if you're an insider and you want to send us something, just contact us. We will, we may put it as rumor, but we will be happy to take something. If you're looking for a new place to start putting out rumors and you don't want to go to the big guys, so we're here. Sometimes that works out better. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on the next stream.